Welcome to Let's Talk Boobs. This is the oral episode. We're calling it the tongue twister. Side boob couldn't be with us today, so we're going to have our conference call in. And we have Heine here as usual, and our good friend Woody. And our friend Woody here, who he moved here recently and has fast become one of our good friends. So we're going to be sitting here talking about oral. Our drink that everybody knows is the blowjob, which is equal parts. You put butter snobs in first, then you layer on the Irish cream, which we found an Irish cream called Whisper that we thought was a little bit more appropriate rather than Bailey's. That's boring. And then you top it off with some whipped cream. But the fun thing about this shot is you do it with no hands. And these guys obviously don't give blowjobs, so I can't wait to see what they do with this shot here. It's going to be fun. Stay tuned.
I've accidentally swallowed the shot glass before.
Well, our first bullet point is deep throating, so we'll touch on that. So our custom cocktail is called Liquor Down, and we are probably throughout the episode going to find different ways that what that means. Like side boob, she likes to spill drinks sometimes, so we'll call that actual liquor down. But we'll say lick whore down or lick her down. So this drink consists of 3 ounces of Southern Comfort, because obviously, we're talking about going south and being comfortable about doing it. And it is 1 ounce of triple sec, 1 ounce of lime juice, and then equal parts of cranberry and Sprite, and top it off with soda. So we're going to do our, traditional cheers. Here's to me, here's to lube, here's to you on Let's Talk Boobs. So, like I said, our first bullet point is deep throating, and curved dicks is a big part of hard deep throating. Hard. My personal experience is if your cock is straight, it's pretty easy to deep throat. But a guy with a curved dick, you basically have to, if the curve points towards their belly button, I basically have to get in 69 position, be able to open up the throat. Because if it's the opposite way, my throat doesn't curve up, it curves down. So you have to kind of situate yourself to be able to go down on that curved dick. And so...
so can you do it if it curves the other way?
It would actually be easier, but then you wouldn't get to 69. So it's all in what you want to do.
Oh, I see how this works.
Yeah.
So you're all like, hey, dude, your dick's curved. You're also going to have to eat this pussy.
No, or my ass is just going to be right in your face if you want me to deep throat your cock. And so how I learned or was explained how to deep throat is you basically have to open up your throat and just shove it in and just forget that you have to basically swallow the dick. So I guess the best metaphor or likeness is a beer bong. You know how you have to open your throat and just chug a beer within 3 seconds. So it's kind of like that situation. So if you need to practice before you give head that night, you might, and a beer bong's lying around, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Again,
the social lubricant's not going to hurt any.
That's true.
Get you in the mood.
It always helps or hurts. We'll talk about whiskey later on. In a different episode. Stay tuned. So, I was asking, Heine here and Woody here, what is the significance of deep throating for men? And, is it because once you get past the uvula, which the uvula is the little thing that hangs down that causes your gag reflex in your throat. So, your mouth is wide and loose, but then once you deep throat and go past the uvula, it gets tighter. Is that more what guys are looking for, or what is it about deep throating that's so great to dudes?
Let's start, Woody. Let's throw it Woody's way.
I think it's kind of what we discussed in the preliminaries earlier. I think it's just the fact of someone being that into it and wanting to go that far, where some other people may not be as comfortable or as willing to do things of that nature, along with many other things if that's kind of off your table. So it can just be getting in that headspace and enjoying it and wanting to do it too, because not everybody wants to.
Right.
Well, when it is successful, like, what is it about the success of the situation when somebody knows how to do it that, like, what is your favorite part about it? Like, is it the tightness of the back, since the tip is the most sensitive area and that's the part that's going in first, that tight little area? Or, like, what exactly is it when it is successful?
I mean, definitely, like, we were saying, like, teeth earlier. Like, yeah, that's the most sensitive part of the dick is the tip. So after you've gotten that far, well, now you don't have to worry about teeth anymore. So yeah, that's definitely.
I didn't even think about that.
I didn't think about that either.
That's a perfect example. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're opening your mouth wide enough to where, like, you're just like, I've got to get it all in. You're not worried about, like, coming back up and chomping down. So yeah, I didn't even think about that. That's good.
Yeah, thank God girls don't have teeth in the back of their throat. That would just be horrible.
BT dubs, don't watch the movie Teeth. It's ridiculously stupid. And we just plugged Teeth. 8,000 people are going to watch.
They're going to be like, wait, they said not watch it? What am I not watching today?
But I do love terribly, terribly bad B horror movies. Like, my favorite is The Majorettes. And, like, there's this one point in the movie where the girl is supposedly dead and he's killed her and she's like, I think I'm dead, and, like, comes back to life and sounds like, yes, this is amazingly cheesy. So okay, watch Teeth, fuck it.
Unpaid advertisement.
Yep. I don't think we would get any advertisement from Teeth regardless.
They probably didn't make any money.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. We wouldn't get any sponsorship with them even if we tried.
Wasn't it like 15 years ago too?
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Is it that old?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it was like around like
it's at least
like
10 to 15 years old.
2001 to 2004 or 5 maybe.
It was before I moved to Nashville the first time, so that was at least 10 years ago. So
can we get some research on when Teeth the movie came out?
That's when horror movies were really stretching it. There was like a dry spell stretching it. We were talking about deep throating, opening and stretching that throat.
Now,
plot twist. 2007.
Oh,
13 years ago. I said 10 to 15 years. Yeah. So what is what is deeper? Okay.
Gag reflex though. I've known girls that said, like, they said they sort of trained themselves out of the gag reflex. Like, when I was a kid, my brother used to tickle my feet all the time. So at some point, it was a mental thing for me to get over my feet tickling. So is that something that, for man or woman, whoever is doing the oral, is it over time you can conquer the gag reflex?
For me, it definitely is a mental thing, because there's times where I'm just like, oh fuck, I don't think I can do it. But then there's times where I'm like, I can totally fucking do this. And then, like, but, like, you get in your head, and then you're just like, then when you get in your head and you're like, oh no, I can't do this, and you're like, and you gag. But I
can definitely do that. Oh yeah, we're no problem.
I did check it off my bucket list, so I know that I can do it. Whether I do it every time is a different story. But yeah, it's definitely a mental thing, I think, because, like, being able to, like, open up and then go all the way down, and, like, but whenever you, like, get in your head and you're just like, oh, like, it's kind of like whenever you, like, clench or something, like, whenever you're, like, nervous or you're scared about something, it's kind of like that feeling, like, when you're just like, oh shit, no, bad idea, you're like, bleh, and you, like, gag. But, like, when you're mentally comfortable with it, then you kind of relax with it, and I think that's the key, is just kind of, like, relaxing the throat, relaxing, and, like, mentally, and also wanting to do it for that person too, because you know that they enjoy it. But what is it that you like about deep throating? You were saying like
everything.
Something. Well, you were saying a completely different reason though.
Right. I think it definitely depends. Again, I think the sexual liberation of the modern era has caused people to be way more open about sex, way more into being more experimental. And
it gets boring if you date somebody for a while. You got to try new things.
Well, being a little older than everybody else.
Much older than everybody else.
Senior citizen discount.
Couple decades. Wait, that's another podcast.
Stay tuned for that story. That's definitely another episode. It's pretty fucking hilarious.
But you definitely run into the girl that... What was that?
We're actually testing some oral out upstairs, so that's what you heard, and we're gonna get some feedback later on.
I hope we can hear that on the... There was a...
Oh yeah.
I'm doing the swaying thing.
They were playing sweet, sweet love music together upstairs, so... So you were definitely saying that you said like with today's day and age and people experimenting more.
I think that you have more people open to being more experimental. For a lot of girls that I've met, there was a fear or aversion to wanting to give blowjobs. Like, ooh. So the girls, I said...
Well, lockjaw's a real thing, guys. So
I'm not... Like, deep throating is great. But if a girl's really into what she's doing, I think it's neither here nor there.
But if
a girl doesn't know what they're doing,
and still is gung ho,
then
that's not always great.
Yeah. I don't know if that girl is even going to attempt to deep throat it because they're going to be so scared of it.
Well, didn't you also say like you like that it's kind of like a dominance thing too to the man?
Oh, it definitely is that.
So it kind of gives you that like that power and that feeling and
right.
that energizing like
without feeling like you're being a complete asshole.
Yeah.
So if you get a girl that's gonna deep throat, you feel like that you're almost king of the castle at that point. Like this is great.
Is this part of being a musician?
No, this is part of liking oral sex. I don't think you have to play guitar to like oral sex.
So I have a friend that like, because I always love to ask the question like, when you watch porn, what do you like to watch? And like my friend, the only thing that they had said that they liked, they're just like, I like to watch skull fucking, and I'm just like, I am not into skull fucking at all. Like, I don't want to vomit on somebody's dick. I don't like my head grabbed and like a dick being shoved down my throat. I'm not into it. People are. I've done it.
Define skull fucking.
So skull fucking is basically when a guy grabs your head and fucks your face.
Like forcibly.
Forcibly to where like you really don't have any control. You just open your mouth and like let him use that hole how he wants.
And this is something we will not have clips on the web for you.
Yeah. This is something you're going to have to research yourself. Yeah. But that's something I'm definitely not into. Like I don't like I love being dominated, but I don't like not having control in that aspect to where I feel like I'm going to vomit on you. And like it to me, like even though I like being dominated, I don't like being humiliated, I guess. Right. And I think that's more of like a humiliation type of move. And like some people are into it, and I've done it like for people who are like really into it, and it's been okay, but like it's just not my thing. But some people fucking love it, but like you'll watch it in porn, and actually sometimes in porn I'm just like, oh god, that is kind of hot, but I'm not gonna do it. But
I've definitely watched some porn and been like, ooh, I sort of feel bad for that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like it to a certain extent. I don't like it to where like the girl just looks like she's in pain. You
don't need to know what the person had for lunch.
No,
that's true. Yeah, I don't.
It's a bit much.
Yeah, exactly, and that's exactly why I don't like it, is because I'm just like, this is not sexy to me. Right. Like I don't feel sexy right now, and so. Yeah.
Vomit during sex is not sexy.
No, whether you're doing oral or just having sex.
Yeah. Always wait till you're done to throw up. Yeah, just saying.
And then just act like you're spitting into the towel. So, fun fact, one of my good friends, oh my god, this is probably the best birthday present I ever had. She was like, I was sitting at the pool with one of my other friends, and he's a gay man, and so we were talking about, sucking dick and all that stuff, and we were talking about, like, spitting and swallowing, and she tells me, what? There's an option? You can spit? She's like, I thought it was rude, and I was like, oh, me and my friend
It is rude. It is very, very rude. It is so rude.
I feel like if you've come in my mouth and I've finished it off, and the guy gets really sensitive while he's coming and you just keep going, I feel like I've done my duty and I don't need to ingest it. But sometimes, if they're driving and there's nowhere to shoot it, I'll swallow.
Unpaid advertisement. Has anybody seen the movie Clerks?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's been a while.
So in the movie, I can't remember what they call it. It's snowballing? Is that what they call it?
No, snowballing's where you give head and you have cum in your mouth and you kiss the person afterwards. Yeah.
Yep, that's what it's called in the movie.
Fun fact, it's also in Stepmom, a Julia Roberts and Susan Sarandon movie.
Wow.
And what reference is it?
Because she's telling or snow blowing or something, and she tells the girl to like say it to this dude and tell him off, like this little teenage girl to say it to this teenage boy. And Susan Sarandon is like, and what the fuck is snow blowing? She's like, college, and let's not talk about it. And I'm like, what? Julia Roberts and Susan Sarandon got dirty on this family movie.
Yeah.
I'm not really into like fluids. Like I don't like facials. I don't like swallowing. I'll do it, if I'm like really in the mood, or like I said, if you're driving and there's nowhere to shoot it, you might as well just go. And get, there's no towels, but I'm just not a fluid person. I'm not big on cum.
Well,
it's
that's a
weird,
bit. That's
and
a
it
bit
tastes
much,
weird.
though, to get the return. Like I don't need it returned to me. Like after I've given it to somebody else, it's not a gift.
I mean,
give it back to me.
I don't mind the like I spit it out or I've swallowed it, and like there's just like a little remnants because it's out, but of course there's still a little bit in there. Then, obviously you have kissing afterwards, and that's okay with me.
Do you have kissing afterwards?
Some people do, some people don't. But I feel like if it's 90% gone out of your mouth,
kiss afterwards.
Not with cum actually in your mouth, but the spitting or the swallowing.
Kind of 50-50, kind of like what you're saying, like where you're like, I know what I just did there. I don't know about that. And then
I kiss guys after,
in the moment, and then you're like, fuck it, whatever.
But I kiss guys after I get oral, and I'm also a squirter, so I'm just like wiping their mouth first, because I'm like that's too much, man. I'm just like okay, now we can kiss, because I'm just like no. It's just like dripping down their face. I'm like nope, wiping this off, and then I can kiss. So like I definitely get it. So because that's like a different version of snow. Can we come up with a name with that? Snowflaking. I'm sure there's.
I'm sure it's snowballing.
Well, that's with guys. But for girls, could it be snowflake?
But it's not white.
For sure.
That's just, it's not, okay.
I bet that's already a term.
It's gotta be something.
Hey, side boob, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm looking up snowflaking right now.
Sweet. Awesome. Let's see if that's a term. If not, we've invented
snowflaking.
Turns out you have to specify snowflaking sex.
What's the regular version?
Something about data. It's very uninteresting.
But I would say this, though. If it's somebody that I'm dating and they're gonna bless me with a nice blowjob, it's almost out of respect for that person that I would probably kiss them afterwards. Whereas if it was somebody that maybe I didn't know their last name, I might be like,
or their first name, depends on how I went.
Mouthwash.
Yeah.
I didn't want to kiss you anyway. I don't know.
Do you just have mouthwash in your pocket at all times, and you're like, oh, maybe I'll find a rando and then should get hit? That's true.
Cleaning the inside.
That's true. Now everybody has hand sanitizer and mouthwash for the coronavirus.
You have no many times. How many times I've sanitized these hands tonight?
Oh yeah, I've washed my hands every 30 minutes. We wiped down all the ketchup bottles, all the napkin holders, like everything. Just be.
Yeah, do we have hand sanitizer? I feel dirty right now.
You are dirty, but it's for different reasons.
Yeah, very true.
So I guess we can move on to like the taste of the vag, because like the first time I ever went down on a girl, like I was horrified of it. I'm like, I don't want to taste vagina. Like I don't mind kissing somebody after they've gone down on me, whatever. And I was just like, I'd fool around with girls, but I would never go down on a girl. And I'm just like, vaginas are not pretty. Like, and they're lippy and wet, and it just wasn't for me. And then I finally tried it. And it's just like the first initial 3 seconds that it tastes like vagina, and then it's just like skin. and that's it.
Yeah, I don't think it's something that's ever kept me away. I would say the taste of it, as long as it's clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And usually you can
Hygienic.
tell coming in.
Oh yeah.
There's usually an odor, and then you just kind of maybe not tonight.
Well, and then also when you know a guy has showered and stuff, but like you're fine when you're like, I guess, facing towards him, but then when you like turn around and like there's the ball area, there's always that ball sweat smell, no matter if they've showered or not, and you're just like, oh, all right, well, I'm just gonna have to lick the balls now to make them smell better.
Describe ball sweat smell?
I don't even know. It's not like BO or anything. It's just.
And most people know what it smells like. So I'm
it
just
literally
curious how
is its
you would
own.
describe it.
It's its own smell. Like it just smells like sweaty balls, and like it's not like if they're really sweaty, then okay, that's beyond. But like even like if you've had a date, they've showered, but like you're sitting there, you have all that extra baggage there, it's gonna sweat, so something you kind of accept. But then I'm just like, I'll just lick the balls and make it smell better, I guess.
so you're for lack of a better word, washing the area to
Basically.
get rid of the smell you don't like.
Plus guys love the ball sucking.
For sure.
And then you put them both in, and then you hum, and then they go crazy.
Yeah, we've definitely talked about this too, on how you like small balls. You can fit them both in your mouth at the same time.
Okay, guys, come on. I want to see in the fucking comments here. What is the fascination about bragging how big your fucking balls are? Who likes big balls? They're harder to put in your fucking mouth. There's harder to put two in your mouth. It's not a good thing. Can you not say, yeah, no, my dick is huge. I did something brave. He's got a big dick. But the balls,
AC/DC told
weird.
me
They're
as
weird.
a child that big balls were where it was at.
No.
And the biggest balls of them all, I'm pretty sure. Is
The biggest
best.
balls of them all. The thruster. You can't see it, but his balls are bigger than anyone's.
He's all balls.
Or she. She has the biggest balls of them all. But it's a weird skin texture. They're just like two large eggs just rolling around in a weird skin sack. It's not cute. And some of them are saggy. It's just, some of them are just like one big swollen
I think all of them
lump.
will get saggy at some point.
Yeah,
then they have like,
that's
if
just
you were to
gravity.
make a dress and you had a seam that you just ruffled, it's just like in the middle of the balls, it's just like ruffled, wrinkled seam.
So how small do you want them? Like M&Ms or like peanuts?
They could just
or?
be gone for all I care. I actually dated a guy with one ball, and it was way
You were-
easier.
half as much work, I'm pretty sure.
Exactly. Yeah. But it is kind of fun when you
Did
have
you
them
just daydream right there for a second, thinking about the guy with one
fun.
ball?
It was just
Maybe a
fun.
little bit.
She's all,
I was trying. Yeah. Anyways, so but it is kind of fun to have them both in your mouth, like a chipmunk, and then you just kind of roll them around a little bit, and then you hum, and the guys love it.
and if you were a chipmunk, which one would you be?
I forgot their names.
Alvin?
I would say
I want the one.
Simon
With the red
Theodore.
nose. Oh no, is that?
It's Rudolph.
Yeah,
No, not Rudolph.
That's a
Chip and
reindeer.
Dale. Chip and Dale, aren't they chipmunks?
Yeah.
I want to be Dale.
Are they chipmunks? Or Chippendale chipmunks? Maybe?
I
think
believe
so.
they're chipmunks.
Okay.
Hence Chip.
Yeah, Chip and Dale, yeah.
I want to be Dale.
Oddly enough, completely sidetracked, I had a teacher in high school. His name was Chip, and his wife's name was Dale. I thought that was ironic as all hell.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
I had
Now,
an old.
was it a man and a woman?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the other thing, is that this woman was Dale. That was, I mean, it's not...
I
That's
had
not that
an old boss called Richard Guzzler, aka Dick Guzzler.
Their parents
You know
thought that
this
one
man.
out.
You know this man. It's where we met. In Raleigh. Anyways,
Seems like he doesn't remember.
so what do you do if like the pussy just smells bad. You're just like
You probably should not do anything.
Do you just like kiss the thighs and you're like
You just move on.
and then you come up
You
to the belly
move on
button.
for sure.
You
met-
just nonchalantly, you're like, maybe I just wasn't feeling doing that. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go with the
I'll
hand.
say this
or
too,
then you're just
though.
like, I'll be right back, and you come back with a wash rag, and you're like, yeah, this is a good one.
I think that's too obvious.
Again, I think it matters how much you know the person.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that too. Where you're
Well,
like,
then you can be like,
Like, if
oh,
it's-
your pussy stinks today. You need to just go do the. But also, like in preparation for a date, like if I know it's going to the next level, I go to the bathroom and I do a little quick rinse, wash, and then like wipe it and do that little thing. So then it's almost guaranteed that it's at least mostly fresh.
Well, and I've dated a girl before where she had issues with yeast infections, and she was very clean. It was just something about she would just
Like her chemistry. I know a lot of
Yeah.
people who just get them just because it just like, well, they also have sensitive skin too. So like, also if you take antibiotics, you're even more sensitive to have yeast
Right.
infections and stuff
Right.
like
yeah,
that.
I've had that happen to girlfriends before and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I can't remember the last time I had them, but I think when I was younger, I used to, because like going through, all your hormones and like your teens and all that, it just
Puberty.
your body is just,
Yeah,
doing all the things.
And I've got a little bit of a funny story that may be
I like funny stories.
related to the girl who would get yeast infections.
Okay, do tell. Did
So,
she work at a bakery?
Does everybody know what a canker sore is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a canker sore is an ulcer in your mouth that hurts immensely,
Yeah.
and you can also get them in the back of your
And
throat.
then you bite them too.
Right.
More.
So I remember having it was when I was a lot younger, and I don't know if I'd ever had a canker sore at the time. But I went to the doctor to go get it checked out, and the only thing that I could think of that would have caused it
was the
going
yeasty
down
girl?
was going down on this girl. And so the doctor's all, like really fucking interested in what's going on in my mouth.
Hence oral episode. What happened next?
Well, I assume if you can tell the story if you can tell the pooping story, go
People
to
should
the anal episode, pooping story. It's well
Yeah, I was
worth
like,
it.
I was not around for this.
It happens to people. It should be talked about so people aren't as embarrassed. It happens. It happens.
So I go to the doctor, and he's like, I've never seen this before, and
He's never seen a canker sore?
no, but it was
Not
more
his
than
version.
one. It was like he was like, you have canker
A
sores
cluster?
on the back of your throat, and I was like, what's that? And he's like, well, they're ulcerative blood, and he starts explaining it to me, and I'm like, well, how does that happen? And he didn't really go into it. Like
He's your doctor. He's supposed to.
he avoided the topic, but you know what he did do? He went to go get the other doctor that was training with him.
You got to check out this serious
That's
case
a-
of canker.
He was like in this, and he's all whispering to her. He goes, "This is what this is," and I'm like, "How rare is
Invasion of
this?
privacy.
How rare is this for this to have happened to somebody that you need to go get the other doctor and be like, this is something you don't see every day. Like this isn't good." And so the only thing that I could think of over and over, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? And this has happened in my throat. And the only thing that I could think of was that the same girl was the one who would.
What?
get
It just turned out to just be canker
Like-
sores on your
like-
throat, though? I've never had them on my throat.
I'm assuming that the yeast infection created some kind of
Like
small
chemical-
infection for me, because I might have been a little aggressive with getting infested and making my friend happy. If you're gonna go,
Well, if you're going to go,
gonna
go
do
big
it,
or go home.
yeah, let's do it.
Cankers and all.
So,
Okay. So
oh, you know what? If there's any doctors out there, give us a response. And is it me? Am I full of shit, or is there something that?
you're definitely full of shit.
Well, I mean,
I was, but I let it all out.
because I mean that's that's the only time that's ever happened, and B, I've been with girls that it was like you're like, whoa. Actually, I've got another story that goes similar to that. So I used to work in North Carolina
Maybe it's
State.
you.
No, I didn't. I didn't lick this girl though. There was no licking this girl, and I'll tell you why. Because so I worked at North Carolina State's accounting department, almost everybody is women. And
Lucky you.
They had this temp. Well, they were a little older than I was. They had this temp that worked there.
So they're probably all dead now.
And she could walk by your cubicle, and you'd be like, "Oh my God, what is that smell?"
Like good or bad?
Whoa, no, horrendous.
Oh,
horrendous. Like if you were within 10 feet of this person, you were like, "Oh my God."
Like BO or fish?
Fish.
Oh.
And so it became such a big issue
that HR had to come in?
Her supervisor had to come in and talk to her about hygiene.
That's got to be the most uncomfortable
like,
conversation.
Oh my God. But and I was a temp at the time too, and they'd be like, "You're gonna go work," and I'm like, "No, I'm not. I'm not."
Did that problem get fixed, or did she leave?
You know what? I believe that she worked there for a couple more weeks, but A+ employee she wasn't, so it wasn't a big loss. So at the end of the day, I mean, she had to feel awkward. I mean, everybody in the...
That's the hardest conversation to have, though, because I have a couple friends that have, like, BO, but, like, it's so bad, they have to know about it. So I don't want to, like, call it out. Yeah, I don't want to call it out to them because, like, they have to know about it, and I don't want to, like, bring out their self-consciousness about it. So, like, how do you have that conversation? And, like, I've had supervisors that have, like, multiple supervisors that have to have that conversation with employees, and I feel so bad because it's not a good conversation. Like, it's just, nobody feels good on either end of that conversation, but it has to be had. But, like, I won't do it for friends because I'm not their boss. So, like, I don't know how to have that conversation. If you guys can, like, chime in on, like, how you've gone about, like, telling somebody that their body odor is beyond...
Yeah. I actually have 2 side notes. First side note, my mother also worked with me in this instance, so it became a topic of discussion.
At the dinner table?
It's so weird. Like me, my brother, my dad, my mom were all like, "Oh, that girl that works with us, her pussy smells."
Oh, that poor girl. If you're out there, does it smell better?
I hope so.